Okay, seriously, why? Why? When we use the same computer day after day, we use the same software day after day, we get ready to go live, the computer needs to reboot. And then once it reboots, the software disconnects from the application, and you have to spend another 5 minutes going in there and reconnecting everything. What the heck? I know I'm not the only one who's going through this. We're all doing this virtual thing. It's super convenient, but oh my goodness, I get so tired of it. Anyway, I'm here and I am now starting the Friday Night Live. Sorry for being a couple of minutes late, but that was a technology issue. So, tonight, what I wanted to talk about is the Federal Employees Group Life Insurance. And I know that we've talked about it before, but not everybody catches that stream, and the question continues to come up. So, I feel like it is something that's worth us talking about again. And this is based on a question that I got earlier in email. So, I'm going to read you the question. But then we're really going to dig into this life insurance and talk about it. How does it work? Do you need it in the first place? Can you carry it into retirement? Does it get more expensive as you age? There's just a lot of thoughts about it out there, some miscommunication out there, some myths that have been perpetuated over the years that aren't necessarily true. So we'll talk a little bit about those as well, and see what you have for questions. So the email that came in today said, I just finished talking to a retirement counselor, and he suggested on the continuation of basic life insurance coverage that I put a check mark on the 75% reduction. I will be 65 in August, and he said, right now, I will just be paying $18.53 a month until I turn 65, and then nothing. And I will still have insurance for up to $14,250. Please advise. So first of all, I do want to say, like, you always have an invitation to send emails like this to me and get your own personal situation addressed. You can do that on Facebook, or you can do that in an email as well. So I'm super happy that she sent in this question, and it turns out that the retirement counselor that she is talking to actually is giving her some pretty good advice. She's getting ready to retire. I know that we've been talking outside of this email that I just shared with you, but she's getting ready to retire, and she's also getting ready to turn 65. So one of the options that she does have, once both of those things are true, she's retired and she's 65 or older, is to carry the Federal Employees Group Life Insurance for the rest of her life at no cost whatsoever. And unfortunately, I see a lot of people making a mistake at this point where they're not asking for input, and they're just going, oh, you know what? I'm getting ready to retire. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this insurance. I don't need it anyway. But the important question is, wait a minute. How close are you to retirement, and how close are you to age 65? Because if you can keep this at no cost for the rest of your life, then maybe you don't want to cancel it right away. Hey, Kathy, how are you? So good to see you on the stream. So we're talking about the Federal Employees Group Life Insurance tonight. When you sign up for FEGLI, there are, in fact, a number of different components of it that you might sign up for. And that's my terminology, the components of it. I just want you to understand how it works. FEGLI is not just one thing. We have basic FEGLI. So that's the first component. Basic FEGLI is valued at your annual basic salary, rounded up to the closest thousand, plus $2,000. So I'll give you an example of that in just a second. But the basic life insurance is the default option. And that means that when we hire a brand new employee, we typically will enroll every person in the basic life insurance. If you don't want it, you have to opt out. By default, you're in unless you opt out, which you could do, and you could do that at any time. Short of, as a new employee being enrolled in this program, you're really limited in getting into FEGLI because there has to be an open season or a qualifying life event that would allow you to get into the program. Open seasons, very rare. We had one back in 2016, and that was the first one that we'd seen since 2008. So they don't happen very often. And I can't even tell you that they happen every 8 years, because that's not true. They happen whenever the life insurance company feels like having one, which is not very often. So short of the new employee, those very rare open seasons, then you're looking for a qualifying life event, some major change that would allow you to get into this life insurance program. For the basic FEGLI only, and we're going to talk about the other components in just a minute. For the basic FEGLI, as long as it has been 1 year or longer since you turned it down, you said, no thanks, I don't want it. As long as it's been a year or longer, you could have a physical and submit that documentation back to the life insurance company. You don't have any problems with that physical. This is considered a qualifying life event. Now you can get into the basic life insurance. And once you get into the basic life insurance, whether that's as a new employee or through a QLE or an open season, then you've got 60 days to make a decision about whether you also want to sign up for any of the optional insurances that we have available. So for the optional insurances, they include, I'll come back to all of this stuff in just a second. I forgot those slides were in there. Optional insurances include A. If you have option A, that provides you an additional $10,000 worth of life insurance value. If you have B, and you don't need A to get B, and you don't need A and B to get C, you need basic. That's a prerequisite for anything else. But if you have basic, you could get A and or B and or C. So A is 10,000. B, you're going to pick a multiple ranging from 1 through 5 times your annual salary. And C allows you to get life insurance on your family members, where you can have up to $2,500 for dependent children, but only to age 22 unless they're disabled. There are some exceptions there. $2,500 for the kids, $5,000 for the spouse. And you elect a multiple of 1 through 5 times those dollar amounts. So essentially, you can look at it this way. Option C is going to pay you if something happens to your spouse or one of your kids. Option B, option A, basic, pay your survivors if something happens to you. So I said that the basic was pretty much automatic, that we put people in there when we hire them, and then they've got 60 days to pick up anything extra if they want. So you would get into these optional insurances during that initial 60 days or within 60 days of you making a change to the basic. Remember, qualifying life event or one of those very rare open seasons. Now, while you are working, your basic FEGLI also includes a couple of things that you don't have to pay for. So one is an accidental death and dismemberment rider. That pays an extra $10,000 if you are involved in an accident that causes you to lose a limb or to lose your eyesight. It also pays an extra $10,000 if your death is accidental, which I know sounds incredibly weird, but you can think of that as something that happened really quick. If we think of a stroke or a heart attack or something like that, here's what an accidental death is not. It's a long-standing illness that the person has been struggling with for the last, 5 or 10 years or whatever, any amount of time. That's just an example, but it's a long-term illness. That's not an accidental death. Okay, no charge for that, but only provided to employees. Once you retire, you don't have the accidental death and dismemberment anymore. That simply goes away. If you are under 45, then your basic life insurance has a larger value as well because there's an age multiplication factor applied. If you are under 35, the value of your basic life insurance is double your annual salary. Once you have your 35th birthday, the value of that policy decreases at 10% per year until you're now 45 and it is valued at your annual salary, but there's nothing additional added on there for age. People that are under 45 don't pay for this additional life insurance. It's just part of the program that's automatically included. Once we're 45 or older, that simply goes away. We don't have it anymore. Now, the basic life insurance is very inexpensive as long as we are working. The federal government pays 1/3 of the cost of the basic FEGLI, which leaves us to pick up the other 2/3. Basic life insurance does not change with age. So a lot of people go, oh, the life insurance gets more expensive as we get older. Options A, B, and C, yes, that's true. Basic No, you pay the same price if you're working, doesn't matter how old you are. When you retire, you're going to make some decisions, and based on those decisions, your price may change. Now, options A, B, and C do get more expensive every few years as you get older. So you can see here in the slide for options A, B, and C, they change a little bit every 5 years, but they're not too bad up to age 50. Between 50 and 55, you're going to see the premiums for the optional insurance double in price. And between 55 and 60, they triple in price. That happens whether you are working at the time or retired. It's based on age. So sometimes people are really surprised by this. And if you hit one of those very expensive categories, you're now 55 or you're now 60, you might want to do a life insurance review. This is a personal opinion. I think a lot of us are of the mindset that we have to have life insurance. It's something that we've been told, our whole lives. And so we kind of go like, I have to have it. It's like health insurance, like I've got to get the life insurance. But I don't really buy into that. And I don't want you to either. I want you to think about your intent for the life insurance. Why do you have it? Why are you willing to pay for it? Is it something that you need? Life insurance really is designed when we are the breadwinner. We're bringing in some of the salary, and our family needs that salary to rely upon us to pay the mortgage, to pay for the groceries, to pay for the utilities or whatever. And when we're in that situation, if we pass away and we don't have that income, that can put our family members in a really hard spot. Life insurance is designed to fix that. But let's say, I've raised my kids, I've paid off the mortgage, I've gotten to a place in my life where it's not that really important that I have income replacement. If something were to happen to me, my spouse, my partner, my family, whomever I'm leaving this policy to, if something were to happen to me, they'd be okay, then maybe I don't want to pay for the life insurance anymore. It's not something that every single person needs. Definitely this optional insurance, when you get older, you need to review it. Keep what you feel that you do need, but get rid of the rest of it. You can cancel it whenever you want. You don't have to wait for an open season, which is good since they're so rare. You don't have to wait for retirement either. You can just decide that you're going to decrease it at any time. I was working with a client earlier today, and he is 60. He's got option B at 5 times, so it's getting super expensive. So we did the paperwork today, and he's doing it electronically, but we did the paperwork today to actually just take him down to basic and cancel all of that B, and he's going to save a tremendous amount of money by doing that. In order to carry the life insurance into retirement with you, you're going to need it 5 years before you actually retire. And every part that you want to keep has to be in place for the last 5 years. So you've always had basic, but you just got B. You can retire now with basic. You got to work for 5 years if you also want to keep B. And whatever you do carry into retirement, you're going to make choices about how it looks later. So what you can see here are the choices for that basic life insurance policy. Basic life insurance, annual basic salary, rounded up plus $2,000, okay? When I'm filling out my retirement paperwork, I'm going to choose to keep it at that same value for the rest of my life. That's called no reduction. If I keep it at no reduction, the value stays right where it is, but the insurance becomes very expensive because I'm going to jump up from paying employee price 30 cents per thousand per month to paying retiree price $2.45 per thousand per month if I'm under 65. If I'm 65 or older, or when I have my 65th birthday, the price is going to be $2.13 versus 30. You see, that does get very expensive. So maybe I go, I don't really need that much anymore. There's nobody relying on my income. What if I elect a 50% reduction? If I do that, and I retire under 65, then that one's going to cost me $1.03 per thousand per month. If I die before I have my 65th birthday, it's going to pay out my annual salary plus that $2,000. But when I have my 65th birthday, or as soon as I retire, whichever's later, both the price and the value drop. At that point, the price is going to go down to 71 cents per thousand per month, but the value is going to begin to evaporate at 1% per month. And 50 months after it starts going down, half of it's gone. 50% reduction means 50% of it goes away. Never gets valued at less than that. Alternatively, I have a third choice for my basic life insurance when I retire, and that is called the 75% reduction. If I elect that, then I pay the same amount, retired and working. And if I retire under age 65, if I pass away before having that 65th birthday, this insurance is going to pay my annual salary plus that $2,000. When I have my 65th birthday or when I retire, whichever is later, the price and the value drop. Once I'm retired and 65 with the 75% option, my basic life insurance is free for the rest of my life. I don't pay anything. But when I have my 65th birthday or as soon as I retire, whichever's later, the value evaporates at 2% per month until 37 and a half months after it starts going down, 75% of it is gone, right? 75% reduction, 75% of it went away. It sits at 25% forever. That was what the lady that sent me the email today was asking about. That's her situation. So you don't make the call, you don't make the decision until you're actually filling out your retirement paperwork, but I want you to know what's available to you, okay? If you also have had option A for the last 5 years and you carry it into retirement, it's going to be free once you're 65, but it will decrease in value at 2% per month until it is worth $2,500. It's going to go from $10,000 to $2,500. Nothing you can do about it. You can cancel it if you want to, then it's going to go to zero and it's going to do it like that. Or you can elect to carry it into retirement and have it reduce down to $2,500 free. Doesn't become free until you're 65. Okay, so that's A. Not really a choice. Keep it or don't. B or C, you've got two choices, and I like to call them the all or nothing choices. The Office of Personnel Management calls them no reduction, full reduction, and you will choose. No reduction. The value remains constant for the rest of your life. It does not ever decrease, but you will pay premiums for the rest of your life. And those premiums go up every 5 years as you age. We already looked at that rate chart. Okay, so that is called no reduction. Full reduction, I like to call the nothing option, because if you elect it, once you're 65 and retired, it costs you nothing, it's free, but it will begin to reduce in value at 2% per month until it's worth nothing. It's not going to stop at 50, it's not going to stop at 25. Full reduction means it will go down to zero, but again, not like that. A little bit every single month, 2% per month until it eventually goes away. So those are going to be your choices. What I wanted to cover tonight was just, do you need it? Okay, I gave you some, little trinkets to think about to go, do I need it? I don't know. Like, what's my intent with this? And is it worth it for me to continue to pay for the life insurance? Yes or no. If it isn't, know that you can cancel it whenever you feel like it. If it is worth it for you to keep it, then cool. You need it for 5 years prior to retirement, and you will have to make some decisions about it when you are filling out your retirement paperwork. Different decisions for basic, option A, and then option B and C are treated the same, but you're going to be making an individual decision for each of those. Okay. Yay! So I see that there are 5 people here. That's awesome. I can't see who it is. Kathy was the only one that said hello, but please just drop in the comments. Let me know if you watched it. Let me know if it was helpful. Let me know if you have questions. If you're catching the replay, let me know those things as well, please. Plus, guys, I'm always looking for topics to cover in the Friday Night Live. Don't be shy about sending me an email. It's Debbie@pinnaclepersonnelservices.com, or pop in the comments, leave me some questions there, send me a private message. I'm always, always, always happy to help you understand the retirement topics, the insurance topics. Take care of yourself. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for joining me.